a risky business. So reminder, if you have power outages like you're talking about, you need to have contingency plans. Okay, reminder, trading is a risky business. Use capital you can afford to lose. Hopefully you will start to keep track of systems as to how different trade ideas work out for you, half gap trades and gaps and breakouts and whatever. I'm going to do a little something different for a couple of minutes with your permission. Somebody asked privately about what's that interesting looking graph you've got or chart. Let's take a look at that. I think it was Don that asked this, so just wanted to show part of what we've got in our system. Have a risk and reward matrix. And basically the idea with this is to try to understand as you increase your contracts, the size, then your drawdowns. Typically, this page will allow you to put anything you want. So I'm just doing this for a round number idea, but whatever your capital is, you put it here. And then you can see the percentages in terms of 1% or 2% or 3%, so on. And typically traders don't want to assume too much risk in any one trade or any one day. So this will compute that for you and tell you these percentages based on the capital available. And then you can go ahead and make some assumptions about how many points you're willing to risk and where those dollar amounts come out to. Obviously, with a multiplier of 50 for the E-mini, you've got a 1 point risk is $50, a 2 point is 100. And if you double it because you're doing 2 contracts, then you've got 200 at risk and so on. So this starts to show you as you get into either more contracts or more points risked, how you start to get yourself into that danger zone pretty quickly. Reminder, 75.25 is our year open, and that's being battled today for sure. So this will keep track of that, and then you can put on some what if situations or even keep track of your own exact ideas too. And then the reward goes kind of opposite that. So if you're risking only a few points, and that's much harder these days to risk only 1 to 2 points, you got to really nail it to do that. Maybe better off with a little bit more risk, but then your expectancy should be more. And then it shows the area where you're going opposite the risk that you're putting on to what you'd try to make, depending on how many contracts and how many points you get rewarded. And you can change these numbers any way you want. So I've got them set up for 10. And then you can put on your exact number of contracts and the points and the multiplier to give you plus or minus ideas and ticks if you want and so on. So that's what that's all about, Don. And then obviously you can put in if you've got a gain of X amount and got a loss of X amount, you get your net gain or loss over here. So that's what that was about, trying to, number one, make everybody aware of risk and reward, and then a way that you can actively keep track of that. And you can obviously put in whatever you want here. If you're a big player and you want to put on 50 contracts, you put it here. If you want to multiply this by 10, 20, 30, 40, you can do it that way. So this is a base start, and this is in our, as part of our spreadsheets. And it allows you to start to fine tune the ideas of how much are you really risking per trade, per contract. It's a very simple way to do that. And then you change this, put whatever you want over here. If you've got 25,000, put it there. If you got 500,000, put it there. 62,000, put it there. And then this will compute that for you. And it'll change the numbers for you in terms of the percentages. Does that help? Hope that helps, Don, if you're here. It's a pretty nice tool to help keep track more rigorously than just, winging it every day. And after a while, you'll get kind of used to what makes sense for your account size and what you're trying to do, and even how you regard the day. If you think it's one of those days, it's going to be a runaway day, and then you want to add a couple more contracts. So what you're doing, you're kind of pressing it. And when you change this, then you change the percentages, obviously, and it tells you what your maximum allowable drawdown per day or per week, if you want to, or per month, whatever. Set your own, rules. And again, you can get yourself in trouble pretty quickly if you let it run against you, and especially as you trade more contracts, you very quickly start to exceed. So I do agree with the traders that say size kills. I think you need to be reasonable about your trades and don't bet everything, go all in on any one trade. And then if you have, one trade, depending on what you make or lose. So in this example, got beat, win, and net 100.25. You lost 250 here. So it shows you the profits and then the loss. And then you can do that any way you want. And if it's 2 contracts or 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever, you put them here, and whatever you make shows you your totals. And if you want to add more, you can add more. And if you take 8 trades a day or 10 trades a day or whatever, you can just add more and just do the same thing. Clone these rows, and then you've got still show your net profit and loss. Hope that helps.